going into the 7 habits of highly effective classroom manager. Okay, 7 habits of a highly effective classroom manager. Now, I said that I was going to treat some of these, but right now, let's see if we can cover up to 6 because I think 6 will suffice. Now, the 7 habits of highly effective classroom manager is number 1, jump right in. It's important for a classroom teacher to understand that you must take advantage of prime teaching time and leave other activities like arranging the chairs and all of that until later. Now, one thing I have noticed over the years as I instruct, I do think that a lot of teachers in this part of the world think that classroom management is basically about arranging chairs, how the children sit and all of that. It's more than that. It's deeper than this because when we talk about classroom management, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. If we want to continue with classroom management, we'll stay here the entire day. So now prime teaching time is very important. As a teacher, you must know what your prime teaching time is because if you do not take advantage of the prime teaching time, that day you might not cover what you're supposed to cover because there are certain times where children become very tired and they begin to sleep. So you want to jump right in. As soon as you get into class, you jump right in. And now, before your children get into class, how do you welcome them in? I see that a lot of teachers sit down. From morning, they sit till night. When you go to school in the morning, a teacher is sitting. In the afternoon, a teacher is sitting. In the evening, when children are closing, they are sitting. You're supposed to be up and doing. You are supposed to be very energetic. You're supposed to set the pace for the children. You're supposed to keep the classroom very warm for the children and welcoming. And, it has to be a very encouraging environment, especially when you're dealing with young children who are growing up. As a teacher, it's important to establish your roles. Make your roles plain. The Bible even says, make your vision plain. Make your roles plain, okay? Let your children know what your classroom rules are. You go to certain classroom, you see children playing, like the young ones who are like 7, 8 years. You're teaching them, they are busy fucking each other, using pencil or pen to poke each other. Okay? When you make these rules plain on paper and let them read it and understand that you cannot tolerate it in your classroom in a very nice way, it helps with your management. Okay, the next one is having a plan. As a classroom teacher, just like all other facets of life, you want to have a plan. What is your goal with the children? What is the timeline you are giving yourself to achieve this goal with the children? At the end of the term, what do you want to achieve? Do you want the children to start reading? You want the children to learn how to write from 1 to 20 or 1 to 100 or count from 1? You have to have a plan. What kind of plan are you working with? Because I see a lot of classroom teachers, they just enter the class, they want to teach and they want to go. You have to be somebody that is very impactful. You should be bothered if your child goes home and shows nothing to the parent. Most parents are convinced about leaving kids in certain schools because of the level of, development they are seeing in their children, okay? So are they able to learn? You want to work with a plan. So because you have a plan, you are able to ascertain when a child is not living up to expectation before the parents will call on you. You're already able to tell them that you have been able to evaluate the child. You know where the child is right now. You know why the child is having this challenge. And you give the parent a timeline to see how these kids improve in that area. And whatever plan you have for, say, this group of children in your class, you must involve them. You must learn how to involve your children, okay? If your goal for Onyinye and your goal for Thomas, your goal for Eze, your goal for Ola, these 4 group of children is to ensure that they start reading at the timeline, you have to involve them. You make them sit around you and you tell them, this is our goal for this season. I want you to be able to do this in the next 1 month and we are going to do it together. I trust you and I know that you can do this. That way, you motivate these children to even, perform more than you can ever imagine. To respect your children. I see a lot of classroom teachers who think that because they are teaching very tender kids, they can do anything and say anything to them. One thing you do not know is that whatever you do or say is duplicated. These children duplicate everything and bring it back home, and they know exactly what you are doing. If you disrespect people, they are going to learn from. So, it's important to understand that children learn from what adults do, okay? They learn from our actions more than the things that we say. You cannot be a teacher who is saying one thing and doing other things in front of children. If you're very disrespectful towards your fellow staff, mates, and all of that, these children are copying everything. If you're condescending, they are copying because they think that, the teacher is always right, just as they think their parents are always right. And so if they are going to even respect you as a teacher, it's a function of how much you respect other people. Okay, so it's important to have this in mind, that children learn from the things that we do, from our own behavior, more than the things that we say to them. You cannot tell a child not to sit here because this place is very dangerous. Then as a parent or a teacher, you are sitting there. You're basically telling the child that it's safe for you to sit here. It doesn't matter whether you are an adult or so. What is unsafe for that child, whatever character is not good for the child to exhibit, as an adult, you should not exhibit it. The last one I would like us to treat right now is that you keep it real and keep it fair. There's something that teachers do right here in Nigeria that is so bad and so wrong. Now, in Nigeria, you have teachers who have like 15 kids in one class. And some of these kids are from very well-being families and, very rich families. Now, you see mothers who buy phones like, Android phones, very big phones for teachers. And do you know what these teachers do? They tend to love those kids more than others. They tend to treat them better than others. They appreciate them. A child will come to school. One child will come, you hug that child, give that child a peg, lift the child up. The other child comes, you just touch the child's head. How are you doing and all of that? It is not done that way. It is very wrong because these are not children who could care less about the way you treat other people. They are children who feel that if you are treating Onyi or you're treating Mary this way or you're treating John this way, you need to treat me the same way. You need to give me love. We cannot be partial when it comes to children. It hurts them a whole lot. And a lot of children go through this and they go home complaining and these teachers don't see anything wrong with their behavior. Now, it does not matter whether parent A is the type that buys you iPhone or parent B goes to London and brings you Hem's bag, or parent C can give you money to make your hair, or parent D can bring you want to treat all the children equally, bearing in mind that it is because of the collective effort of the parents that you are in that school. If they could do that much for you, they would have employed you to teach their child independently. So now when you treat other children better than the other children just because you get gift from other children and parents, and the ones who are not able to afford that kind of gift or those kind of gift for you, you treat them in a particular way. You hurt the feelings of the children. You demotivate the children. You give them, the impression that you do not like them. And everything you do going forward will not matter to them because they will feel that no matter how much they try, you will never appreciate them. And the reason why I'm stressing on this issue right now is because a lot of our Nigerian teachers are like this. They are very partial when it comes to the way they treat children. When you are friendly with your parents and you give them stuff, they are nicer to you and the children. And the other child comes, you treat them as if they are nobodies, and it's very wrong. As a teacher, you want to understand that the goal is to teach the children collectively and ensure that you're able to impact on these children, because that is the difference between you and the other person out there who is not a teacher. I do hope that this teaching today was helpful. If it made any impact for you or your learning community, that will just be all that I want from, I want to know. I appreciate you guys so much for coming back to my channel, for coming back to my videos. Thank you so much. Should you like my videos, kindly consider subscribing, turn on the notification bell, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much.